I guess I'll just leave it because it's see, like for good goddamn 3 minutes. This thing just a play. Uh, just a play. Anyway, this is my last attempt, I guess. Just to see if we can run down the year that is still on his way out. What a year, what a network. What a year, what a network. So, okay, that my guardian angel. I've been a spy from AI from. Don't do- That my one eye where they always conspire on me. You're welcome. The eye don't disappear. Even that because so man, 5 minutes never say get settled. That's not the way to end the year. Go fireworks. Go see fireworks. The year was a year that we stay with us for the rest of our life. I think if I say that I'm not wrong, or I will not be wrong. With Donald Trump pretty much resetting the world for what it is. That's what I mean by it's going to be with us for the rest of our life. Tinubu finally allow foreign country to bomb the terrorists that can be easily taken care of by the Nigerian states, but because of their unpatrioticness to the states, their loyalty to their religion, to their ethnicity, and to their self is more is the number one focus for them than the state. Now, with their foolishness, Donald Trump has decided to ridicule them. So 2025 from January till today, 30th, 31st of December, the fireworks from the National Assembly signing the tax reform bill that was initially rejected by the NEC, National Executive Council. And before you know it, a wiggle is way out of that, which to be implemented tomorrow by the way 1st of January 2026. Took out. Why is network they show himself? Who's that one high that is there listening at me? Well, a lot of video, but listen, let me know who you is before this year finish, because you are always the first person to come and to tune in. You either tell me My. Wow. Good network. And wherever you is, I will find you. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I think they make me go on every 5 minutes. So
it's also important for the public to know that whatever decision we arrive at here is unanimous. And I recall the last decision we took, and which concerned one of our sisters here, the Tinubu Senator Natasha Bochu-Duagan. I'm also aware that when she left the chambers, she went to Brakete Radio, and she went to Arise Television, and she distorted the facts. I'm aware further that she has now externalized the matter by attempting to embarrass the Federal Republic of Nigeria by going to give a narrative at the IPU UN event, totally different from what occurred in the Senate. But I want to thank our Right Honorable Member, Kafilat, right? That's her name, Kafilat Okwara, who had to give a press conference in New York to caution the international press not to vilify Nigeria, but to note that the facts presented by her were totally out of tune with what occurred in the Nigerian parliament, and that we have our own internal mechanisms of resolving issues in Nigeria. And outside this parliament, we also have the judiciary, which is even standing before the judiciary. So I don't know why even here, she has brought a petition, and she has not allowed us to even look into it. She went to court, and then she has not allowed the court to look into it. She has gone to the international community, and she may not even allow the international community to look into it. She may decide to run to I don't know where. I don't want to be misquoted, but the reality is that we remain resolute. We are law-abiding. We operate through the rules of the Senate, which is an extension of the powers and privileges given to us by the ground norm, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We still are open to making sure that we remain in peace, and we left room for her to recognize that what she's doing may even frighten a lot of men in future from even appointing or selecting female deputy governors. You can imagine if somebody like Kamala, the immediate past vice president of the United States, were to go on CNN to say that Biden, the president, sexually assaulted her by shaking her hand or by holding her hand to show her the office of the president, then automatically it means that nobody will pick another woman as vice president. But I have 4 daughters, so I want to plead with politicians, still give my 4 children a chance. Do not take the action of one person and punish others. My religion and the Bible are forbidden that the sins of the father will no longer be visited on the children. So please, we still have so confidence in our female folk. In this 10th assembly of the Senate, we have only 4 women, and the 4 of them are all committee chairmen, intentionally, in order to give a voice to women in the parliament. So I thank you for this vote of confidence. I will not take it for granted, and I also have confidence in you and your ability to continue to contribute your quota towards nation building. Let's remain.
There are 2 questions, and I have a third issue that I think, Ruben, you need to address. But let me start with the questions you have raised. I think first the issue of INEC. I think everybody is fairly
Where is my senator? You Okay, yes. Snake, that issue. Peter for Nigeria. Peter for Natasha. Natasha for Nigeria. The princess of the Senate. You are taking your place today. You are a senator. Nobody can remove you. Your people are with you. God is with you. This is the wife of Alan now. Hey! Akpabio don't play. Akpabio don't play. And share any. For where? For this country. Akpabio, you lie. I say, Akpabio, you are a liar. Natasha must resume. Akpabio, you go hear word. Akpabio, Akpabio, Akpabio. Akpabio, you go hear word. Natasha must resume. Akpabio, since you won't let the revolution start with you, we go reach National Assembly. We are going to that National Assembly. And Shereni, I say Natasha will resume today. No woman, no nation. Mama P. Oh God. People, they die. Insecurity. You are fighting another woman. For 6 months? Na lie. Na lie. Akpabio, you are a liar. You are not God. Natasha, they resume. Why you hate woman? Who is you? Where is my distinguished senator? Oh, Mama P. Oh, Tori Olong. Where is Aisha Yesufu? Where is Hajia? Okay. Yes, that's the energy. Hajia don't people leave distinguished because it's even causing more delay. That protocol. 3 arms of government, Tinubu, Wike, and Akpabio. You want to become oracle for this country? Everything plus electoral reform. Now there. Now we go sleep for National Assembly. Now we go sleep. Akpabio must hear word. Mama P. What the hell? Oh. Akpabio. Natasha must resume. Natasha must resume. For where? Oh. Where we don't pass, so my Tamabi, we are going, Transcorp, we are going to us National Assembly. Make everybody, they go there. Bandits, they do press conference or casino. You are not interested. Hunger, insecurity, unemployment, inflation.
That's another 2025 discovery.
Look this way.
It's actually amazing.
Just give her a chance.
In retrospect, it's actually amazing how much we have had to face.
Now let's give our public.
It's actually amazing how much we have had to face and survive in the past 6 months, and most of it happened to the full glare of Nigerians. From the unjust suspension to the recall. We survived the recall. We survived the blockage of roads and waterways into Kogi that we had to fly in through using the helicopter. We survived the blackmail from the so-called woman from the crazy lady on Facebook. Yeah, you know, it's amazing what we had to survive. And I give God Almighty, the glory, and my deepest appreciation to the good people of Kogi Central, Kogi State, and Nigeria at large. My husband, my love, if you see this, I love you dearly. In short, I pray all men support their wives as much as you have supported me. And my children, thank you for your sacrifices. So in everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Pabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. As for me, I'm glad to be here. And even though we have been illegally suspended, no day have I hesitated in effectively carrying out my duties as a senator of Kogi Central to the very best of my capacity. I have never, no day went by without me looking out for opportunities, either in terms of bringing infrastructure or projects to my people, and even jobs wherever I could, because I didn't want them to suffer, the neglect and the vacuum that was created by this injustice. So I thank people like Auntie Obi, Esikwisili, Sister Aisha, Mama P, Peter The Rock, and many others, Dr. Abiola, Yemi of Enough is Enough, Uncle Femi Falana, many Nigerians I can't even call. I've read your posts, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Sarah Key, many people who have lent their voices, thank you, and even political parties, Labour Party, ADC, I saw their statements, and my beloved PDP. Thank you so much for standing up. Nigerian Bar Association, Nigeria Labour Congress. A whole lot of voices. It just pulled through, and I think that's the pressure that the Senate President saw and realized that, he just can't.
The most wicked people we have in this country are those who live abroad and those who have traveled and still support incompetent candidates and bad government simply because it favors them or because the incompetent candidate is their tribesman. I don't blame those who have not been to the international airport, not to talk of traveling outside the country. I don't blame them when they support bad candidates to rule them. Some of them are so used to suffering that their brain have been calibrated to think that that is how life is meant to be. You see, most people shed tears the first time they set foot into all these Western countries, because it will be done on them that they have been living in an animal kingdom all these years. Subconsciously, you will be wondering how you were able to survive in Nigeria all these years, because you will see how citizens of a country are being treated, how people's rights are being protected, how lives are being valued, how children are being cared for, how pregnant women are being pampered and cared for. And when they deliver their babies, you need to see the treatment they get. But here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. The other time, the former governor of Abia State was seen on live TV shamelessly saying that his government will be giving 500 naira to any woman who delivers her baby in Abia government hospitals. None of these hospitals he is talking about are qualified to be a zoo abroad, though. Other governors were seen doing youth empowerment with shovels and diggers, wheelbarrows, and Obioma mobile sewing machines, while their own children are in abroad living lavishly with our collective money. Yet someone abroad who have seen how life is supposed to be will be supporting the bad government in Nigeria. I have never seen a higher level of wickedness than that. You might think that you have escaped the Nigerian suffering, and you forget that karma pays in different ways. You might spend all your life training your children and they end up junkies. When God wants to deal with you, location is not a barrier. The condition of this country gives me sleepless nights. We will keep praying for God to look after his people, but as for fixing the country, it must be our collective efforts. God doesn't have a hand in that. Amen. God bless you. This is Truth Assembly International, and my name is Apostle Barnabas.
There are two questions, and I have a third issue that I think, Ruben, you need to address. But let me start with the questions you have raised. I think first the issue of INEC. I think everybody is fairly aware that INEC, as presently constituted, has lost a lot of credibility. And it is very important that the institution gains this credibility. Otherwise, the stability of the country is going to be threatened, because when you have institutions that are not delivering, and especially a key institution like INEC, and if this failure continues, then it will erode not only, confidence in INEC, but confidence in democracy itself. And when that happens, you know the consequences. So let me come back to INEC. I think there are amendments that the whole country is waiting for. For example, that amendment, which I think late President Buhari refused to give assent to, which mandates INEC to use electronic tools and to use technology in delivering the result, is still pending. But more importantly, why should the president, whoever is the president of the country, who is an interested party in the election, be the one to propose the head of INEC? I think late Uwais committee has made very good recommendations, which have been blocked by those who are interested in manipulating INEC. I think we have to rescue INEC by making sure that the head of INEC is not appointed by a sitting president who is going to be interested in election. So there are a number of things that needs to be done. I'm not sure there is sufficient time for us to raise that, but I think the key issues are two. One, that INEC's credibility is at stake, and two, we have got to insulate INEC from political interference. If that doesn't happen, then it is the democracy that is holding the country that's being actually run down. And when that happens, there are consequences. The second question, if I remember correctly, which you raised, is where do we go from here? Considering what former President Jonathan said. And I think it ties down with the issue that I really think you should be raising, because the whole gathering in Accra is around the crisis of democracy, that democracy is not delivering the expectations of the people. And in Nigeria, if you take the statistics from 1999 to date, that's about 25 years. If you take the indices of development, whether you are taking the paternal and maternal mortality rates, or if you are taking the GDP, the growth in the economy, if you are taking all the indices of development that you take, you will see that from 1999 to date, we have been going down the drain. In fact, the GDP for this year is said to be much lower, actually about less than half of what it was in 1960. In other words, this country, under this democracy, is actually going down the drain. And it is time to really ask, of what use, of what benefit is democracy if it cannot really deliver? Is democracy made for the people, or people for democracy? If democracy is supposed to serve society, then it has failed in Nigeria. And it is time to start thinking of how do we really bring about a system that can work for us. I watched the debate from beginning to the end, and I was saddened by the fact that the elite that gathered there could not think out of the a box of Western frame of thinking. In other words, they were all, and especially the guest speaker himself, he was going round and round while admitting the failure of democracy. He was still saying that we should stick to democracy. And that doesn't make sense. You have admitted that this system has failed to deliver. And you
Dr.
are saying that
Bugaje.
we should still hang on to it.
So that one eye that is that one person that is always there listening. We made it. We made it. We made it till 2025. We still got a couple of hours, few hours more till 2026. So we let's talk about how the year unfolded. Are we still unfolding? For sure. Donald Trump and Tinubu run a show. Ever you want to say it, good, bad, and ugly. You cannot deny the fact that they were up and running. There's one, I don't think there's a day, okay, sure, day, yeah, it goes by without these two people not making news. Donald Trump, for sure, every day is talking to the media. Every day he's talking to the media. And then I go on the plane, I Oval Office, whatever, man, that nigga always talking to the press. Why he called them out and saw them at the same time. Tinubu, on the other hand, I think if I say every week, there's no every week that he will not make one news that is directly tied to his deed, knowingly or unknowingly. So these two personalities, these two presidents, literally keep, if I say the whole world, I will not be wrong. Trump for sure, the whole world. So wherever you are in the world at this moment, you will understand that your government is reacting to Trump. So the world, say the whole world. In as far you are a government somewhere, that government is reacting to Trump, that adjusting trade balancing, running like him, win like him, or go after him. Um, but for the past 10 years, I think there's no, in terms of America, there's no politician that run for any any position, especially at the federal level. And that it doesn't matter what party. You either use Trump as your to campaign for yourself, or you use him as a punching bag. So and this year, climax yet. So definitely the man of the year. They overwhelmed the system, not just the American system, but the international network as a whole. The whole world felt, yes, there's a new sheriff in town. He has just barely done 11 months. Ranka Shankara Sita. More fireworks, that's what it means. On the domestic front, We still go back international on the domestic front. Tinubu to been busy, literally keeping Nigeria wailing and whiling and the anything praise of Tinubu. Man. I'm trying to think of any or at any point or any course of the year that is something that in Nigeria will, even though not unanimously, maybe majority of Nigeria say, you know what, okay, 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 I think we'll take this one. I'm looking for that moment, that time that the government, like Tinubu did, government did something that the majority of Nigeria will say, you know what, yeah, yeah, yeah. We see where it's going with that. See where it's coming from. See where Please just give him a pass mark. Stay. Because it started tax bill being passed in January. That was huge. And there was so many propaganda that were through at Nigerians that did not even know what that fucking mean until now. Then the guy went to BRICS in Brazil, which I would say that's what got Trump administration like, nigga, I want the shop dollar, be. We see. We'll see how it goes. I see you, Tinubu, trying to play two sides of the coin. Uh, Back you down. Uh, Tinubu from the state, governor, putting out in our best known to them. For everybody, it's a godfather issue. Everybody, they bring out the own official statement. Wiki to the presidency, to the, everywhere politician in Rivers. They try have shit to say every day, regarding the suspension of the governor. Then bring another man coming for 6 months. I was the time yet. If he will win again, for sure, I would say what like his child. But the events are nothing down from designated to a country of particular sign. A threat from True Social that said, act together, I'm account blazing. As Trump himself said at the beginning of his administration, walk around, you'll find out. And people still thought he was fucking around, but no, people have been fucking around. That's what it means. So, for that, I see did it. That was best. Kudos. Once again, we made it. We made it. Oh, sin again, sin again, sin again. What is the they find the year? Many, many, many blessings here. Worry past. 2025 saw the former president Muhammadu Buhari join his ancestor. 23 and beyond that. Um, what I think is fine for 2020. They coming to AI and some of them trying to know what's up with the own progress. So, what are those defining moments of 2025? Defining moments of 2025. Samuel Ekpa was arrested and convicted. Prime Minister himself. Um, that cyber terrorism charge or whatever the fuck they is in over the Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, was also convicted after so many years of back and forth. At the point, he has to let all his lawyer go and represent himself, but he ended up being convicted. Now, Sokoto, as I speak. Talking about Sokoto, Sokoto was a location, the state, one would say the caliphate of the caliphate is where Donald Trump decided to dance, horse dance overnight, came gone blazing. That- All that in 2025. Welcome to that second person that is joining with you. If you're a member of the family, say ha ha ha. 2025, 2025, 2025. I take a break from the home front and go Obodo Igbo. 2025, so I think the president of Ghana, Mahama, sworn in, have been elected as the president, but this, ah, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2025. 2020, 2020, 2025. Anymore reminds me of the defining moment. This 2025 will stay with us for the rest of our life. Thanks to Trump and President Bola Tinubu, who doing and the doables. 2025 also saw Obi going from giving a powerful speech on the 1st of January 2025, capped the year with also dominating the airline with is the campaign to ADC. So the obedience are paused. So it's a great new year. It's a great end of year party for how do I put it? Should I say those Christian who are screaming genocide, who at the same time obedient? So what a year they are having. What a week, what a day they are having. They got a gift that is celebrated on the 25th of December by Donald J. Trump. And now, all the suspense of where our Oga is going, talking about none other person that Peter will be. And finally say, this is the direction, ladies and gentlemen. So, it is a year that the obedient will never forget. Not just the obedient, I think. And every Nigeria will never forget 2025. Was a year that saw a foreign country drop a bomb, taking war to terrorism, to ISIS. That was unheard of before now. And I believe the younger generation, they can still not comprehend the magnitude of what that means. And what potential that could lead to, or the most important thing, it exposes the selfishness, the greed, and the foolishness of the Nigerian elite who are caught in the crossfire of what I call three into civilization. They wrestle themselves to control the oils pretty much, who has the key, who will hold the key to the Niger Delta oil for X amount of years, whatever it takes. They're blindsided by power without knowing what time it is. Donald Trump, December 25th Christmas gift, exposed three things about the Nigerian elite. That one, they are more loyal to their faith, followed by their tribe, then by their personal ambition at the expense of every other Nigeria, at the expense of the nation state. 2025 exposed the Nigerian elite their unpatriotic lifestyle has come to the open. 2025 saw a sharp generational divide. Saw Wike going head to head with Yerima, young man on military uniform. A defining moment that will live with us for the rest of our life because of activities yet to come. 2025 tells us that when push comes to shove, even the richest black man on the planet Earth, we have no choice but to protest. 2025 saw how the bureaucracy plan, how corrupt they actually are when Aliko Dangote call out Farouk, the federal government regulator in charge of Niger Delta Oil, or spending $5 million to educate five of the state. $5 million we educate 20 million out of school children back in school. We see some changes which to feed them. So 2025 exposed a lot of things that we talk about every day on the platform about the elite. 2025 we go down in history as a year that the Nigerian political class are faced with ultimatum by multinational cooperation, multinational agencies. They are not going back on the task. However you want to do it, whatever pain is going to bring, that is not our problem. But yes, we are here to expand and shall we buy Jim, no, JP Morgan Chase. 2025 will go down in history as the year where a village man, by every standard, illiterate as a enemy and political adversary, we call him, talking about none other person than His Excellency Chief Monday of Paholo, Deputy Governor of Edo State, was the year that he defeated the educated class using their own instrument, the court of law. That's not it. But for a man that was stark and illiterate to be in control of government firmly, something to be studied. A man who was able to listen to voice of reasoning and put an end to 120 years of struggle, distance tattooing of such a land. Ladies and gentlemen, he, Chief Monday Okpaholo, is the man of the year. He will go down in history as the man that brought us also kingdom peace through strength. Peace through strength is the language of the Pentagon, led by Donald Trump. That's why I love. 2025 go down in history as a year we protest upon protest upon protest upon protest upon protest to the point that the steam, the courage, the motivation to protest gone. Thanks to Showore, more of a veteran of protest than journalism or a party man. 2025 will also go down as a year that Showore carry out national campaign in an attempt to inspire people to join him to protest the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Unsuccessful, as I will say, when comparing to the amount of resources that was invested in promoting that event. If 1/10 of that energy resources was used to promote his party, AAC, National Convention, I think that might that would be a different story. But of course, the convention was carried out within him and his friends, and he emerged as the chairman of his own party, who has not grown an inch, if instead losing more followership. But again, that was 2025. Priority were not set right there. So 2025 was a year. But I think at the end of the day, what we should take away from this year is it has made one thing clear: how compromised our elite are, where their loyalty stands, and how patriotic they are to the nation they claim to govern. Uh, So if that is the only thing one can articulate as a takeaway from 2025, you're a winner. You is winning. You is winning. And I think that will set as a foundation going into 2026 to inspire more work in that direction. 2025. 2025. More like a year that fit in a saying that goes, there is a decade in which nothing happened, and there is a week in which decades happen. That's how the year feels like. 2025 feels like. It was filled with action upon action that coming from Donald Trump with his action, his antics, his seriousness, and whatever Trump does, send a shockwave to anywhere human breathe on this planet. If you are under any kind of form of governance, no matter how local that system is, you will or you are but a man who occupy position of president in the United States of America. Maybe every president become a mistake. Now Trump has come to stay in our life forever. The conversation we are not ready to have yet. So fireworks from Washington DC to Astro Rock literally on daily freaking basis. So we remember and reference 2005 for a very long time to calm that is for shizo. That is for shizo, for shizi. So wherever you are, you will always make reference to 2025 as this next 100 years seats. Anytime, anywhere. Yeah. Things. I said it before that 25 we'll be seeing as a reference because it serves as the beginning of much more to and I will brace up. You think 2025 is rough? Technically speaking. Oh, 2025 saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So, so if Trump said if he classifies gift, Christmas gift as fireworks, ladies and gentlemen, let's expect more fireworks. That one person where they listen, no one, we no one participate. The witch that if God. A lot of people don't go back there, I think. Wow.